Tundra, USA. Athena Angel Sam is 16 years old and lives in Huslia, a small town in Alaska in the United States. In 2006, she worked with other students to record the stories of some of the elders in her town about changes they are experiencing in the climate. People in Athena's town have noticed that it stays warm longer into the winter, and that cold spells are shorter. 50 years ago, it never rained into November like it does now. The ground that used to be permanently frozen, permafrost, is thawing. It is more dangerous to travel across the land by snowmobile or dog team, and more difficult to hunt for food in the wintertime. Lakes are draining into the thawed ground, and many have dried up completely. The beavers have had to move from the lakes to the rivers, and there has been a drop in the population of muskrats. While there used to be hundreds of geese flocking in the springtime, now hunters see only 5 or 6 geese at a time. Some fish populations are disappearing, causing problems for both bears and people who rely on eating fish. At the same time, new species of fish that locals have never seen before are appearing. The warmer winters make the snow soft, and therefore harder for large animals like bears and moose to move on it. Some get stuck in the snowdrifts and die. Because it rains less in the springtime, there are fewer blueberries for the bears to eat, which can lead to starvation. As a consequence, the bigger brown bears started killing moose and black bears. People have also noticed the tops of trees drying up and turning brown, even evergreen trees such as spruce. Forest, Kenya. Nellie Damaris is a farmer who lives in a village called Kipchabor in western Kenya. She grows maize, tea, and tree seedlings, and also has a few dairy cattle. Nellie is a volunteer worker with the Forest Action Network to educate her community about forest conservation. Nellie has witnessed destruction of forest land to allow more room for farming and human settlements. The most frightening changes to the environment in Kipchabor are related to weather patterns. Kipchabor used to receive rainfall through the year, but now part of the year is completely dry. She remembers 20 years ago that even during the dry season, the grass would remain green. Now the dry season is warmer, and all the grass dries up. Starting in the 1980s, warmer temperatures have led to an increased number of mosquitoes. 20 to 30 years ago, almost no one in the region had malaria because it was too cold for mosquitoes to survive in the high-altitude region. But now people there are dying of malaria. Warmer and drier weather has affected agriculture in the region. Some of the edible insects that people used to depend on when food was scarce are now extinct. People are now even more dependent on the food crops they grow, which are more vulnerable to changes in rainfall. There are also more crop pests now that it's warmer, so farmers in Kipchabor use more pesticides. In 2006, Nellie Damaris spoke of the climate impact she has witnessed at the World Wildlife Federation's Climate Witness event at the annual UN Climate Change Conference in Nairobi, Kenya.